皆さん、こんにちは。坂巻です。I hope you had a good spring break. And today I'm going to explain vocabulary on lesson 6. lesson 6ですね。So if you can follow along with me, so the lesson 6 starts with 146 page, so 146ページ. But we are going to dive into the vocabulary page, 148ページ, 148. So, and most of them, you're going to be able to read them on the hiragana part, but I wanted to tell you a few notes on a few words. So the first one I want to tell you about is this word katakana, peiji, peiji. So this means page, like page 1, page 2. But as you know already, we use a number first and then a counter, right? For example, if you are saying number 1, we say ichiban, right? It's not ban ichi, but ichiban. Same thing with the page numbers. So for example, page 148, we say this number first and then say page. So it's going to be 148ページ. Okay, so be careful with the word order here. Okay, and next word would be baggage that I want to talk about. So baggage is, bags or suitcases. So it's a general term for luggage or baggage, which is 荷物, 荷物. So we already know a word to say a bag. So カバン, right? A bag is, part of 荷物. It can be baggage. So 荷物. And there are a few katakana words. So personal computer, パソコン. So we are making it shorter. Personal computer, that's very long. So we shorten it and we would say パソコン, パソコン. So, and nowadays, pasokon is a general term for, like we have desktops, laptops, tablets, so all those. And of course, we can say laptop, desktop, tablet, and so forth. We just use English words, but make those words into more like Japanese sounds. Next word is shower. So shower. Make sure you can read small Y sound correctly. It's sha, sha, S-H-A, shower. And then this line, make it longer, make the vowel longer. And air conditioner, we will shorten that. So air con, air con. And we have other words, time words, as in this week, next week, 今週, 来週. So as you can see, the week part is 週. And kon means current, lai means coming. So it's this week and next week. Also next year, we use the same rai. Nen is year. So that's how it's going to be set up. And night, we already know the word bang, as in bangohan, dinner, but this is just another word for night. Bang is more like evening, and yoru is this word is more like night, but they, we use them interchangeably. And we have one adjective, not adjective, which is taihen. So tough situation. So if you say taihen desu, something concerning is happening, so they would try to help you. And it's a not adjective, so if you want to say it's a tough homework, it's a very difficult homework, you can say 大変な宿題. And we have a lot of u verbs here. So u verbs, you will look at the last sound, last hiragana, aso, for example, to play or to spend time pleasantly, asobu, and how would you make this into mas form? Do you remember the rule? So u verbs, asobu, it's u, that's why it's u verbs. And in order to make this into mas form, the polite form, you have to change this bu to e ending sound. Consonants stay the same. So b is a e ending as ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So asobi, and then add mas. Asobimasu. That's mas form. So again, I always mention this. If you say asobu, you're talking to a friend. It's very direct. So, you need to be careful. If you want to be polite, make sure you use mas form. Okay? Asobimasu. And I also want to say something about this word, asobu, asobimasu. If you are talking about small children, then they're playing with toys. But we also use this word asobimasu about adults. Then this doesn't mean adults are playing with toys, but just meaning spending time nicely. So maybe with friends, or you went out to Tokyo, right? Tokyo de asobimashita. So when adults said that, they weren't playing, with toys or games. They just did something fun. So make sure you know the meaning of this asobimasu. In addition to play, it just means to spend time pleasantly, nicely. All right. So all these verbs, in order to make mas form, it changes the same way. You apply the same rule. So isogu is to hurry. Mas form will be isogimasu. Isogimasu. And the third one, to return something. So if I return somewhere, do you remember the verb? Kaeru, kaerimasu. But this is very similar, but you're not returning. You are returning a thing, something that you borrowed. So, kaeshimasu. Kaesu is to return something. If you want to say someone, you return something to someone, then you're going to use these particles. So if you are returning a book to your friend, then you can say, 友達に本を返します. And we have turn off or to erase. So we learned the word lights here, Genki. So you can use that, or maybe pasokon. You can turn on or off computers, or you can turn on or off AC, aircon. So you can use this verb with these words. Okay, so that would be コンピューターを、パソコンを消します。or テレビを消します。We learned that word before. エアコンを消します。電気を消します。So that's to turn off. Sometimes it means erase. Right? And to die is 死ぬ. So 死に, right? 死にます is to die. Okay. And we also have a word to smoke. So smoke cigarettes. And in Japan, we have a lot more cigarette smokers than in the US. So, you need to do that. Or if you want to know if you're a smoker, and if you want to know if you can smoke, you need to know this verb. So it's tabako su. So the verb portion is actually just su. And then you can see tabako o. And su literally means to suck, right? So you go breathe in and then breathe out. So that's why we use this word su. So suimasu, tabako suimasu. That would be to smoke. All right, and we have other words. Tsukau, tsukaimasu. Tetsudau, tetsudaimasu. And tetsudau means to help somebody. So if you help your friend, 友達を手伝います. And 手伝う literally means you put your hand along with someone else's. So you're lending a hand. because te means hand. Right? 3 more u verbs. Hairu is to enter somewhere. Hairimasu. So you can enter a store. You can enter 図書館. 図書館に入ります. So you go in there. And then also we have motsu, mochimasu. This means to carry or to hold. So you're actually holding in your hand. That's motsu, mochimasu. And yasumu, yasumimasu is to be absent, like from school. Gakko yasumimasu, then you're going to be absent from school. But you can also say koen de yasumimasu. Then de would be, that's the indication of place where you do something. So you're resting, you're taking a break at the park. So you can use it in 2 different ways. But yasumimasu. And if you remember, yasumi was a day off. We learned that word in a previous lesson. And then we have ru verbs. So ru verbs are easier to make mas form. You just take out ru and then add mas. So open and close. So, there are many words now that you can, remember with as a pair, like open, close, or borrow and return, turn on the light, turn off the light. So, make sure you remember those as a pair. So, 開ける、開けます。閉める、閉めます. So this one is, I am closing something, not something is opening. Okay, so, ドアを ドアを開けます. Or we learned the word window in this lesson. So 窓を開けます。窓を閉めます. Next word, to teach or to instruct. So again, this word needs a little bit of an explanation. So this is 教える. So mas form, 教えます. And this means to teach. For example, 私は日本語を教えます. I teach Japanese language. So that is easy to understand. But also, 教える means to give information to someone. So instruct somebody. So if you are telling someone a phone number or your name or your email address, then you can also use this word. So 電話番号を教えます. Then I'm going to tell you my phone number. Okay, not teach you the phone number because that sounds a little strange. But I'm giving you the information, right? So we use the word 教えます. 電話番号を教えます. 名前を教えます. And if you want to say to whom, then 友達に電話番号を教えました. I told my friend my phone number. All right. And next word is 忘れる, to forget or to leave something behind. So if you say 忘れます, then you have not forgotten yet. So 忘れました, if you make it past tense, then you forgot something somewhere, so you don't have it. 本を忘れました. I forgot my book. Or 教科書を忘れました. 教科書 is a new word in a previous on the previous page, textbook. All right, and we have 降りる, 降ります, to get off a vehicle. Okay, and then we use お. If you remember to ride, get on the vehicle from a previous lesson, 乗る, 乗ります. So 乗る, 降りる, try to remember as a pair. And when you use the word 乗る, we use に, バスに乗ります. Because you're going towards that bus. バスに乗ります. But when you get off, you're already in the bus. So you're going to say バスを, right here, 降ります. And we already did 返します, to return. But to return something, you have to borrow it first. So to borrow is 借りる, 借ります. So if you want to say you borrow money from your friend, then 友達にお金を借ります. お金 is a word in this lesson, money. So 友達にお金を借ります. And if you return money back, to your friend. 友達にお金を返します。And two more, シャワーを浴びる. So we learned the word シャワー earlier. 浴びる it means to be exposed or to immersed. So the water is coming and you are immersed in that water. So シャワーを浴びる. So we use that word. We don't really use the word take. We just say we're immersed in the water that's going to come out from a shower. シャワーを浴びます。And we did turn off earlier. 消します。消す。So now we are going to turn it on. So つける。つけます。電気をつけます。turn on. 電気を消します。to turn off. Then we have three irregular verbs. So these are either ending する or 来る. So mass form of する was very irregular. します. Right? And you can tell 電話, we know this word. Telephone. So if you do a phone, that means you call someone on the phone. 友達に電話します. And 来る is to come. So mass form is very different because it's irregular. 来ます. Right? 連れてきます. 持ってきます. So both means bring, but what you bring is different. If you're bringing a person or, your pet, something, an animate, then we use 連れてくる. 連れてくる. On the other hand, if you bring a thing, inanimate object, something that doesn't move, then we use 持ってくる. 持って is, it's the gerund form of 持つ that we learned earlier, to hold or carry. And I will explain more about gerund in the grammar point. But for now, you can just remember 持ってくる as to bring something, okay, to somewhere. All right. And we just have a few more other verbs and other expressions. So 後で later on. 後でします. Then you do it later. But if you do it right away, すぐします. すぐします. ゆっくり can be slowly or leisurely or without hurrying. So ゆっくり. ゆっくり話します. Okay, then you're speaking slowly. Or you can say ゆっくり寝ます. Maybe you will sleep leisurely. Okay, you don't have to wake up at a certain time. That kind of thing. And this is the phrase 結構です. That means it's kind of like 大丈夫です. 結構です. I'm okay without whatever it is that being offered. So that would be fine. That wouldn't be necessary. So it's a nice way to say no, thank you. 結構です. And if you are surprised, you can say this. 本当ですか?本当ですか?本当 means truth. So you're saying, is it true or is it a truth? Okay. 本当ですか? So you are doubting what you're hearing. Okay, so these are the vocabulary from lesson 6. So I hope you will start remembering these, especially all the verbs. Please go over the verb form, the dictionary form, as well as the math form. And in the modules, lesson 6, we have a list of the dictionary form and math form. So make sure to, go over that as well. But I think you can easily figure out how to make mass form for u verbs, and then as well as do verbs, and then irregular verbs, it's already, set. So you just have to memorize them. All right, so I hope you will start taking your time to go over these words and, make flashcards or use different apps to go over. And the next time I will talk about the grammar points of lesson 6. And lesson 6 is the last lesson that we will cover in this semester in Japanese 1. So, we're almost there. And after we cover lesson 6, if we are to meet in person, May 13th is a final. So I will announce what your final exams will be a little bit, before that. So you can, you will have a few days to work on it. じゃあ、お疲れ様でした。